Bellatrix and his Bone Brigade have enslaved the human race, and we need your help.
What are you talking about?
So, I watched A Tomorrow War, and it was pretty bad. The plot has more holes in it than a net, and the action is bland. This review is spoiler free, so if for some reason you find yourself wanting to watch this trash, you still can. If you don't know, The Tomorrow War is about people in 2022 being drafted into the future to fight a war against aliens because the future humans are losing the war and running out of people. Somehow, every government in the world has decided to start sending soldiers into the future, and it's begun drafting normal people when the standing army runs out, as the majority of troops sent to the future are killed. Chris Pratt gets drafted and has to quit while standing in one place and shooting aliens. Now that concept is kinda dumb, and if you're like me, it immediately puts a bunch of questions in your head. But there are plenty of movies that have dumb concepts, but manage to pull through by the strength of the characters and the action. The time travel of Terminator 2 falls apart when you think about it, but it's still one of the greatest action movies of all time because of the action and the characters. Both the action and characters in The Tomorrow War are terrible. Chris Pratt's performance is really bad and he just looks confused the whole movie. Nearly every one of the supporting characters is comic relief, and of course Chris Pratt is making jokes too, so you have average people in a horrifying situation where they're fighting aliens in the future with little to no combat experience, and they're making jokes like they're completely detached from the situation and doing a let's play on YouTube. The comedy is bad, but the melodrama is worse. This movie is so schmaltzy and generic that I wanted to fast forward every single emotional scene. Think of every cliche emotional Hollywood moment you can think of, and it's in this movie. Very World War Z. And I'm not gonna pull a CinemaSins and go, actually, to every plot hole in this movie, because there are a lot. But that's fine. Again, it's an action movie. But they mess up the only two things that matter in a time travel alien movie. The time travel and aliens make no sense. Now, I can't get into time travel without getting into spoilers, but the aliens are completely unbelievable as a threat. They are strong enough to wreck military Humvees in a second, fast enough to move miles in minutes, and can shoot spikes like the babies from Dead Space. But they are also highly susceptible to conventional weapons. And I don't just mean guns. One of them is killed with a circular saw. Like, come on. Humans are fine. Chris Pratt fights one of them with a fire axe. And later, a super strong one with a knife. I don't see why people in 2050 would find these a problem. Another glaring issue with the film is its structure. It's over 2 hours long and feels like 3 times that length. The main cause of this is how incredibly episodic the movie is, to the point that I thought it was a recut Amazon original show. The movie has 35 minutes of setup and exposition in the front, which is mostly boring. Then the rest of the movie is overly long action scenes split up by about 10 to 15 minutes of boring dialogue. Each action scene has a different goal that is unrelated to the other action scenes, and the goal is always accomplished by the end of that action scene, making the movie feel like a bad video game, and the dialogue in between is the cutscenes you don't care about and skip. Most of the action scenes involve super fast aliens slowly walking towards Chris Pratt, completely forgetting that they have the ability to shoot projectiles, while he does an awkward grimace standing in place shooting them. The movie looks like they took footage of Chris Pratt playing the Terminator Salvation arcade game, and then put it in front of a green screen and added aliens. Despite the settings the action occurs in being very different, the scenes are all handled in the same way, with lots of standing in place and slow motion of CGI aliens being shot. It doesn't matter if they're on an oil rig or in the Arctic, it all just looks like a bored Chris Pratt in front of a green screen. Oh, and also this movie has a point where the plot was over and a normal movie would have ended, but there was still 40 minutes left and I wanted to die. So here we have it, a sci-fi action film with bad sci-fi and action. I would not recommend this movie. It's a slog. I feel like I was too harsh on Fear Street Part 1 after watching this. Anyway, what's your favorite action movie? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and like and subscribe, or else I'll send you into the future to fight aliens. Bye bye.